good. Okay, so here's a real quick question before we start. Erin only has 2 kids. I have 3.
I would make it as much real to your family as you can, because otherwise then you're trying to keep everything straight.
Okay.
That's up to you. Like I told you, I don't do well with making things up.
Right. Okay. That'll be good. All right.
Hi, Nicole. I'm
Hi.
Tamara. How are you?
I'm good.
Great.
Sweet.
Wanted you to kind of tell me a little bit about yourself and what brings you in today.
Okay. Well, my name's Nicole. You already know that. So a little bit about myself. I'm a mom. I have 3 boys, and they're all really close in age. So we have a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Wow.
And I'm married.
Okay.
So I'm a grad student. I'm a teacher.
You have a busy life.
There's a lot going on.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
So so that's I guess about me.
Well, with all that good stuff, there's something obviously bothering you.
Yeah. I guess lately, just something that's kind of bothering me is my relationship with my husband.
Okay.
I just feel like it could be better. When we first got together, we were just felt like we communicated better.
How long have you been together?
10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 years. So, we were younger then, and I guess life was easier, but, we met in college, and we got along so great, and, everything was fine. But then life doesn't just stay,
No.
status quo,
Not with kids and-
yeah, so we get married, we have 3 kids, he's working full-time, I'm working full-time, and I just feel like maybe there's been a disconnect a little bit,
Okay.
and it just feels like, not like it used to be, it feels like work when we're together sometimes.
How long have you felt this way? When did you feel a sense of disconnect?
Maybe I don't know, maybe even just the last year.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say there was something huge that happened, but it's it creeps up on you. And it's, it's easy to not, I don't know, it's easy to go to bed early and not hang out, or it's easy to just not return a quick phone call, because you just get busy.
Right.
And it becomes about, all about your kids and running people here and running people there, and it's just,
It's not easy anymore.
it's not. It's really not easy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you don't mind, explain to me more about this disconnect. Can you go in a little bit more detail for me?
yeah. So I just feel like lately we've been fighting, and it's dumb stuff. It's stuff like we have a family birthday party to go to, and he doesn't want to go, but he knows that I'm close with my family.
Does he give you reasons?
He just doesn't want to go. He's had a hard week,
Okay.
and he just wants some time for himself. And, why does your family always want to get together? We were just with them last weekend. Why do we have to do this now?
And that's nothing new? Your family is
No,
always...
it's totally nothing new. So,
Okay.
like I said, we've been together since college. So, he's, not we grew up together, but we were together for a while before we got married. He would come over to my house.
So you've been around long
And,
enough.
yeah, he knows my mom and dad. He knows my brothers and sisters. I've, been over his family's house numerous times, and we both come from a really big family background. So I have 4 brothers and sisters, all together, and he has 5 brothers.
Wow.
So
I speak for
family is we both come from these huge families, and we know that there's all these, little commitments here and there, and now he's just we were just with your family last week, so it's fine. I don't need to go to that. like that. I feel like the other half of me isn't there to enjoy, things that I like or
Right.
are important to me.
And can you tell me, does that make you feel sad or does that make you angry?
I guess like a little bit of both.
Okay.
Like, I feel like in the moment, I get really angry,
Okay.
and I don't want to listen to that he had a hard time at work. I don't want to listen to that he's tired.
Maybe we need to come back and we need to look at that. And it doesn't have to be right now, but
Yeah.
that's something to,
But I feel like I'm getting angry really quickly about it. And then, later on, like after I cool down or, like the moment's passed and I'm not so like upset, it makes me sad because I look back and I'm like, we've been together for 10 years and, he was the love of my life and I think still is, but I just didn't ever think we would be here.
right,
Like,
yeah.
when things are easy, you're like, oh, it's always gonna be easy, and it's always gonna be great, and
Right.
everybody says what a great couple we are, and, we have beautiful children, and then sometimes I feel like I stand, like, outside of myself, and I'm, like, looking in, and I'm like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, is this my life? This is not what I thought was gonna go down, I don't know.
And is it fair to say though, he's telling you, I've had a hard day, I've had a hard week, but it sounds like you are as well. Does it-
Yeah,
So.
I mean, yeah.
So why are you complaining about it? I'm going through the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm
Is that
working
fair?
full-time. Yes, thank
Okay.
you, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I feel like you get it. I mean, I'm working full-time. I'm running kids here and there and everywhere. I'm, trying to do, I don't know, I feel like I'm trying to do a ton of stuff.
Right.
But yet, I think that family things are important.
And they may be relaxing to you. It's time to laugh. It's
Right,
time to
yeah.
share. And it's a possibility. Well, it's not relaxing to him. But that doesn't make
Yeah.
it right, and that doesn't make it okay.
I never thought about that, actually. I never thought about that at all. I mean, because if it's my family, it's like a place where I feel comfortable and I feel loved and accepted
Yes.
and,
You can relax. And
Yeah,
your
I-
kids are taken care of because there's plenty of family members to help.
Right.
And
yeah,
I'm assuming there's cousins, lots of cousins.
lots of cousins running around. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that does in a way, like.
And that might explain some of your anger with him, but he may not see it the same way. Now here's a question then. If that is the case, when it's his family's time,
Mm-hmm.
is he all gung-ho and hey, let's go? Or is he still kinda, I'm tired, or do you think there's a lack of, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but is there seem to be a lack of interest in all areas?
No, like if it's his family, and like I said, he's got tons of brothers, and they're around a lot. His mom and dad actually like help with the kids often,
Okay,
and I feel like they're at our house, pretty regularly. But he doesn't seem to mind. He doesn't seem to mind that. And I don't know, maybe like what you said, maybe that's a relaxing thing for him.
great.
And for me, it's more, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's never the same as having your own family around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not quite the same comfort level.
No.
Okay. So what else? I feel like there's more than just him not wanting to go to your family's place.
Yeah, so like I said, we've been fighting a lot lately. And I guess like what's been making me like uncomfortable and maybe I'm looking for it because it's starting to bother me, but we watch football and we watch sports and
Football on Sundays.
and I mean like we love to, like have people over. And of course, we're always, you drink when you watch games, you drink when you watch football. But I've been noticing that he he just drinks a lot, and it's not like we never drank together. It's not like we don't, I mean, we'll like go, you know, like on a Saturday night and maybe like go to dinner and have drinks, or we might stay in and sit on the back patio and have some drinks. But like, I just feel like it's different lately. It's been like maybe more. Yeah, and like I might have, you know, 2 or 3 drinks and I'm fine to stop, and I'm just, you know, whatever.
So you do it
That's-
socially and,
Yeah, it's my comfort level, and it doesn't make me uncomfortable or when people drink, but his dad is an alcoholic. So I feel like I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen to him,
okay,
and I just feel like lately it's maybe moved from like social drinking, just like past it a little, and I'm worried.
have you held any conversations with him about your concerns?
No, it's like a really touchy subject.
Okay,
So like,
but what are the consequences of not doing that? What is happening now to you because you're not holding those conversations with him?
I mean, it leaves me, I guess, like in a weird position.
Well, you sound frustrated, am I correct?
I'm
Okay.
frustrated because I feel like I should talk to him. He's my husband. I feel like we should be able to openly talk about things that are bothering us. But that's like one of those issues that it's like deep. It's not an easy fix. It's not like, hey, who's picking up the kids? It's a,
This is, okay, have you and him ever spoken about it when it pertains to his father?
yeah, so we've talked about everybody in the family. I mean, it's like well known that his dad's an alcoholic.
And what are his feelings on that?
And he understands it's an issue. He was the son of an alcoholic, so he's seen, you know, his father, you know, drunk, or he's seen him like make poor decisions.
Okay, and did he grow up that way his whole life?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And even like some of his brothers don't drink because of it.
they're being cognizant of.
Yeah, they're like, you know, it's not a family secret, you know, at least like within the immediate family. And so some of them have decided they just don't drink at all. But that's not what my husband decided, which is fine.
And maybe at the same time, he doesn't know that it's gone too far.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like he should be careful. Like he's seen what it does,
Right.
and he's seen like how him and his brothers, you know, like how they grew up. They didn't like some of the things that happened, or, you know, he's seen his dad and his mom fight because of it. Why would he do that, or what? Why wouldn't he just stop? Or why? I don't know.
Because I think that's easier said than done. I mean, I can ask you, why have you not said anything? Because it's easier said than done.
Yeah. And then it's gonna be a big thing. And then
And it's gonna be a hard thing, right? But what are the alternatives if you don't take that step? How disconnected do you feel right now?
I mean, I feel like I'm on my own, I guess.
Do you see it getting any better if you don't do anything?
I mean, your brain knows. Your brain's telling you, no, things are not gonna get better. But yeah, it's not that simple. Then
I know.
there's like the, well, what ifs, or I don't have time to get into a fight like this. I don't have time, I mean, it sounds so sad to say, I don't have time to deal with this, but
But I think you're allowing the situation, you're taking the situation out of your control. I think you can take back the control. Does that make sense? If not, let me ask again. All right, what's in your control in this situation?
well, I mean, I guess, I can control what I say. I can control how I choose to respond,
Yes.
and I can, you know, how I react.
Do you feel like you're doing any of those things?
I'm choosing the path of least resistance right now. I'm choosing
Okay.
to like minimize it, I guess, and say like, well, it was a big game, we had people over.
But you're miserable. Alright, I hear that you're telling me you're miserable. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like my partner is not present. And so like I said, we've kind of like been fighting a lot. And I guess I don't know, I'm trying to do a lot. And there's one kind of cool thing that I'm doing.
Ooh.
So I've kind of like started up my own little like side business or whatever.
Okay.
I'm starting to sell like Mary Kay stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, so I know that might sound really stupid,
Well, but are you enjoying it?
but I do.
Okay.
I never thought I would like anything like that. I never thought I would be like a Mary Kay lady or anything. Okay, because it just sounds so cliche, right? But I like it, and it's something I can do by myself, or you know, and like for myself.
Right.
I can make my own money, you know, and I mean, I have my full-time job. It's not like I don't have money, but you know, it's kind of like fun, play money that I can just do whatever, and I enjoy it, and it's going well.
Good.
But sometimes, you know, we'll get in fights about, you know, oh, you have time to go do this, but you don't have time to, you know, hang out here with me, or it's just, it's
So something you
frustrating.
were enjoying in life is now causing strife in some areas with your
Yeah.
husband.
And I just feel like maybe I would think he would be happy for me. I would think he would want to, I don't know, like encourage me. And it's almost like I feel guilty because he's not happy, but I am. And so it's a weird spot to be in.
I wonder if something else is going on with him. Like you said, if the drinking is becoming an issue.
Yeah, like, that's one thing. It's interesting you said that, like, maybe something else. I know he's not happy with his job, his personal job. And maybe just me doing something else that I'm enjoying
Right.
is almost like a slap in the face, or like
to
a,
him. Because some ways to look at it, and I've learned in my experience, is that a man has to be happy, usually at work, to enjoy the rest of his life. It's not too personal, but I remember the time when my husband was very unhappy in his job, and it affected everything we did.
right,
It affected our entire life. And so I was very excited when he got a new job and was happy again, because
yeah,
it made a huge difference in the home. And so if his drinking is going back to the fact he's unhappy in his work, that's why he drinks now, and you're happy and he's not. So now he's even more unhappy.
right. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. He'll like come home from work,
Probably grumpy.
grumpy.
Yes.
Grumpy, totally complaining about this and that. And it's like, it's been like this for a while, and we've talked about, well, you know, what can you do? Can you change jobs? Can you try to work things out with your boss? And I feel like I've given all these, you know, options, but he doesn't, you know, follow through, or it just doesn't work out. You know, so I'm kind of getting frustrated to the point where,
But how would it go if I was constantly giving you suggestions?
I don't know, I mean, maybe it's overwhelming, or maybe
Would it be simple if it just said, quit your job, get something new?
yeah, that'd be great. Right.
Just
Yeah,
fix yourself, will you please? But yeah,
It's not easy.
It's
These
not.
aren't easy things, like
and
jobs.
his job he may be looking at, I hate my job, but it pays the bills.
Mhm.
It allows us to have the home that we're in.
Right.
My wife can drive the car that she's driving. So those might be barriers that are weighing on him to allow him, or to make him feel like he has to stay in this job.
Yeah.
And so maybe again, that's another conversation you need to have. Honey, why are you staying in this job if it's making you miserable? And hear what he has to say, and hopefully he's honest. You know, we may not be able to keep this house if I change my job. So then
Mhm.
you need to decide what's gonna be your reaction
To that.
to that. Men are very strong-willed when it comes to wanting to provide for their families.
And he is. I mean,
And so he's miserable because he's providing for his family and he may feel stuck.
yeah.
And then that's
Makes
gonna
sense to me.
disconnect the two of you because you're happy-go-lucky
Right.
and he's doing all he can to provide, but it's not helping him. He's not happy.
I mean, and I would rather him be happy. I would rather him have a job where he would make less money.
And have you ever told him that?
Maybe not.
I mean, maybe, this sounds like you and I need to start practicing what conversations need to look like for you and your husband to reconnect.
Yeah, because I just keep this stuff and it's in my head and I don't share it.
And how long until it starts affecting you?
Well, I think it's affecting me. I mean, yeah, I get angry pretty easy lately.
Do you? Okay.
And I don't like how that feels.
Because that anger's coming from somewhere. You're not just waking up in the morning being angry. There's an underlying issue. It's either you're sad, you're frustrated, you know, and it's the love of your life and you are just completely split right now.
It doesn't feel good.
Oh, I can imagine.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we can, like you talked about, maybe trying to have some conversations with him. I don't know. Like, how do I start that? How do I?
Well, let's decide first. What is it what do you want to address first? Do you want to address the job and hope that the alcohol issue would follow? My fear is, or my concern is if you address the alcohol first, but it's masking his unhappiness,
Right.
it might just make it worse. Because then he's going to see that you're unhappy, and that's just going to add to the weight that he may be feeling right now about everything. So maybe, a good night out, the two of you. Just the two of you. Maybe go to Bob Evans where there's no alcohol to be served.
I never thought about that.
You know, someplace where there's just no, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you need to have an honest conversation with him, I think. Honey, and try to make your conversations using I. I statements, not you statements. So don't make him feel attacked. You aren't happy, you are making me miserable. Does that make sense? You are drinking too much.
Yeah.
So how
'Cause
about-
that would go
Right.
terrible. That would be awful.
So how about, honey, I am struggling, or I love you, but I feel like there's something bothering you.
Yeah.
You know, how's the job going? You know, what can we do to reconnect? And maybe not even bring the alcohol up right away.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So,
Because maybe if he knows where you're coming from, honey, you know, if you hate this job, then let's us do something together about it. Let's fix it, let's change it. But
Yeah.
don't start the conversation, you.
yeah, that would not go well.
It does not go well. Yeah, start with
But-
I. Let him know that it's you that's struggling. I am personally struggling
And
because I can see that you are unhappy.
Yeah. And I know that he loves me. I do. I think, and that's why the fighting bothers me.
And I can understand that completely.
And just some of the things that you're saying about, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of putting myself in his shoes a little bit. You know, just about, you know, he's trying to provide. He's trying to make sure we have what we need. He's trying to do what he thinks is right. And almost like putting himself maybe last.
And that might be why he's frustrated and happy. And that's where the drinking comes.
Yeah, just to kind of
Numb.
frustrated and
Yes. So let's set some goals. Like, where do you want to go from here? You know, we'll get together again next week. What should we set for ourselves or as our session? What would you like to do?
Well, I feel like we need to have a talk.
Okay, I think that's a really good start.
I think you've gotten me past the point where I just wanna hide from it. I mean,
Is hiding gonna help?
no,
Okay.
no,
And
it's
so
not.
we've cleared that up, right? We can't be passive about it anymore. Or this marriage, there's gonna be consequences for your marriage.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like it's at a point where it's like salvageable. I mean, I don't feel like it's like a,
Okay. Well, we don't want it to get there.
yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I need to work on how do I approach him, or just having a conversation and maybe starting with how I feel and sharing that with him, because I really haven't.
Okay? And that's not fair to him.
No. This is gonna blindside him.
Well, at least
What's
you're not
wrong with that?
At least you're not blindsiding with the suitcases in hand.
Yeah.
Okay, hon.
Hey!
I can't do it anymore. No,
Yeah.
you're not that far.
Yeah. I just need to sit down and have a conversation and talk and just, I guess, be open and honest and just, you know, just tell him how I'm feeling and how it's, you know, affecting us. And hopefully he'll respond and, you know, do something.
And you know, and if he doesn't, then when you come back next week, we can talk about how that conversation went. If you don't feel that he's responding, then we're gonna work more on, again, you have control. And so let's figure out, you know, what we can do next, but one step at a time. Don't leap into